I caught my husband cheating on me. I'd just come home from a long day at work. I was ready to relax and spend time with my husband. As I walked in though, I immediately heard it. He had some other woman in the house. I couldn't believe it. How could he do this to me? And while our daughter was sleeping in her room, they weren't even trying to be quiet about it. I just sat there standing outside our bedroom door. I didn't even know what to say. Eventually, they stopped, and I heard the woman say she would take a shower. When I heard the bathroom door open and close, I figured it was my chance to confront him. I immediately burst into the room. My husband was just sitting there on the bed. His face turned pale when he saw me. I started screaming at him. I asked him how he could do this to me, how he could do this to his daughter that was sleeping just rooms away. He sat there blankly staring at me. That made me even madder. He wouldn't even explain to me how he thought this was okay. I told him I was taking our daughter and leaving. That seemed to jolt the life back into him. He instantly jumped up and told me to wait. Then with a confused look, he asked me who I was. I thought it was some kind of stupid attempt to save himself. I told him I didn't have time for his bullshit and that I was leaving. He then asked me again who I was. At this point, I played into it. If he wanted to act like a dumbass, I would treat him one. I very angrily reminded him that I had only been his wife for the last 15 years. He continued to act like he was confused. At this point, I was infuriated with him. I told him I was taking our daughter, and for him to not call me because I didn't want to hear it. He told me not to touch her and to stay where I was at. He then started moving backwards towards our knitstand. He grabbed out a gun and pointed it directly at me. I asked him if he had gone insane. He told me just to give him a second to figure things out. I pulled out my phone and told him I'd call the police. To my surprise, he said, "Please do." I looked at him like he was crazy. As I dialed 911, we both kept our eyes locked on each other. Then, I heard the shower stop. Even with everything going on, I was ready to confront the person that had stole my husband from me and apparently made him go crazy. As the bathroom door opened and the steam cleared, I got a good look at her. The moment I saw her face, I froze in horror. The woman was a direct replica of me.